I know how it gets. Listen, if you're in that building phase of the man, the least you can do is be in shape. The money, the respect, those things will come when it's time. But your temple, what better do you have to do? You may as well have a body that's admirable. You may as well build the fortitude in regards to discipline, those fundamental habits, and having that aura as someone that's respected now, especially when you have the time. Okay. I think sometimes we can focus on these other areas, but what you don't realize is when those things come, they're also going to come with new challenges. They often say new levels, new devils. You're going to be tested in different ways. And if you don't have that fortitude or the foundations of discipline laid, or you don't actually have that respect for yourself, you could potentially compromise and risk losing it all. So, the reason you want to be locked in from now is not only for the standard part of your personal development, but you're going to be so far ahead. When you get the money, and you've built the character, you've built the body, and you have all of that. It's like you're almost like Thanos. You've got the Infinity Stones. Imagine you're someone that has mastered your communication, your relationships, you've mastered your body, you've mastered your integrity, you're intelligent, you're charismatic, you've got all of these things, and then the money just comes in. Now you can guarantee that the money doesn't make you. The money is not the be all or end all. It actually is something that just can enhance and amplify the areas that you already have. So if you're taking care of your body, now you can invest into better recovery. Now you can invest into better supplementation. Now you can invest into better nutrition. You can begin eating organic. You can cut down on certain processed foods. Maybe you're eating less tuna. You're not eating so much tin food and the mercury, etc. So, if anything, you're just enhancing what you already have. But it's just key to say, like, don't skip and don't cut corners. Of course, you can get the bag and then you can try to get into shape, but humans, we don't often change. I think many people believe that we change a lot, and it is an integral part of being a human, which is the ability to adapt. But many of us do stick in our ways, and I say that to say, if you're someone that has certain vices, or you have a problem with drugs, or you have a problem with intoxicants, when you have no money and you haven't got that element of your life in order, when you get more money, what do you think is going to happen? All you're going to do is amplify the problems and the things that you're engaging in at a higher level. So if you're someone that is, sports betting now and you're smoking weed, what do you think is going to happen when you have more money? I find it funny, when someone says, people talk about winning the lottery and they just immediately say, yeah, I'd invest in property. At the foundations you're at now, you don't understand investing in property. Why do you think that's suddenly going to change? It's not going to your level of understanding is not going to change. You're just going to have more access to the same decision making and principles that you already have. It's fascinating again when people talk about, rich people or successful people and donating to charity as a fraction of your income. Do you donate to charity the same amount? They say that, they should expect Jeff Bezos or this person to just invest billions into this and fix world hunger. Proportional to the amount of money you have, okay? Let's just use an arbitrary number. Someone has 1 billion, you have 10K. Are you donating 10% of your income to these charitable goods? Because you can do it. And this is when you start to, it's frustrating when you start to get a certain level of comprehension and enlightenment. You start to understand that people's words and their people's words are not congruent with their actions. So you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person that's amplifying traits that are already bad. However, on the flip side, if you're someone that's naturally giving, now when you have money, you can give more. And as we say, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you want to be, financially solvent and in a position where you can help people because you can help more people. But just don't get caught in the habit of thinking that, when certain plays happen or when you hit a certain level of income, you're going to become a different person. Things are pretty much going to stay the same. So just make sure you're a good person now. Build the integrity now. Build the body you want now, because what better do you have to do? What better do you have to do with your time except work on those elements? Because it will come, the money will come, the respect will come, and you want to be somebody that has everything in check. I think the core component of my message is is against being an average. You don't want to be an average person. You want to be exceptional in every measurable human metric. You want to be spiritually intact, financially intact, healthy. You want to be funny. You want to tick all the boxes. We're trying to be the best versions of ourselves, and we're trying to maximize our potential. That is the core of everything I'm trying to say. I may break things down in a different way. We may talk about frequency a little bit more one time, relationships a little bit more one time, business a little bit more one time. There could be some esoteric understanding or religious, but ultimately, you want to be multifaceted. You don't want to be unidimensional. You don't want to be just in one lane. Work on the body right now while you have the capacity to. If you already have the finances, you're gonna just have to go back to doing that anyway. As we're seeing a lot of celebrities. You're seeing like the Mark Zuckerberg getting into combat sports, jiu-jitsu. We're seeing the celebrity boxing. People are doing it the other way around. But as we always know, things compound. If you're going to do something anyway, you may as well do it from earlier, because you're going to be the one that benefits for it for a longer period of time. You're going to get the compound, you're going to get all of the interest on your investment had you done it earlier. So if you're someone that's in this position and you're younger and you're seeing this message and it's resonating with you, then please, I implore you to get on this journey earlier, because you're going to benefit from it earlier. I'm not going to benefit from it. I mean, of course, I want the people around me to be fit and in shape, but you're going to benefit from it the most. Like, we can go into the videos on the consequences of what happens when you start to change your body, the amount of respect you get, and the aura you have, and the way you conduct yourself. But ultimately, all of that comes down to self. You have to be self-interested. You have to be self-invested. You're not selfish, but you have to be understanding of the self, self-aware. So please, man, just, if you're in your bag and you're in that grinding phase, take your health seriously. Build the body that you want. Don't be consumed by it, because it's not everything. We're not here for that. We're not here to be the guys in the gym that are in the best shape, but really struggling. We want to be the guys in the gym that are in the best shape, and we have everything else. You got the girl you want, you got the car you want, you got the house you want. You're sharp, you're intelligent, you're respected by others. That is the making of an individual, man and woman. There are different roles, but in general, we want to be the best version of ourselves, and health is important. You only have one time in this vessel. Why would you falter it? It's literally ingratitude. You're being ungrateful if you choose to go against that rite of passage to look after your vessel. In all of the major monotheistic religions, they encourage you to look after yourself. And why a lot of things are prohibited and forbidden is because they are diametrically opposed to that. They go against the teachings of looking after yourself. And the reason you want to look after yourself is so you can pour into others and pour into your community. So I feel indebted to sort of work on certain things and to share a certain message, because the better I can be, the better I can be for the people around me. And the better I am for the people around me, the better they can be. And it cascades, it snowballs into something where the general population is lifted. Even if it's a small drop in the ocean, it's better than nothing, you know? So yeah, man, lock in, get in that gym, start reading, get your clothes in order, get things into a fair, man. Start buckling up, because it's go time. And you don't want to be the one that's left behind. Because if you're doing the right things consistently, the bag's going to come. You have to understand that. It's similar to the gym. And that's one of the things that it teaches you. It teaches you consistency, and it teaches you that things do change. If you just show up consistently for a long enough period of time, you're going to see change. That applied to obviously the sleeping right, looking after your body, and having the right macronutrients. But it's the same as, the information you're taking in, taking consistent action, putting your ticket into the ballot every day for it to be possible. You want it to at least be possible as well. That's another thing. Are you getting enough reps in for there to be a possibility of you being successful in something? Are you doing things that are more leveraged? The reason I'm making these videos now is because there's a possibility that it can reach more people. It's not just about the money, but there's actually is a leveraged activity. I could have this conversation one-to-one with my friend, and it can be great. We can have it in the car, and maybe we've just had a gym session. We're talking about what we want to do in life. Bing, bing, bing. Have that conversation, is done. but are you putting in the actions that actually allow you to yield the outcome that you want? Just be consistent. The gym will show you that element because you'll see it in real time with yourself. Sometimes it's difficult, everyone has elements of body dysmorphia where you don't look at yourself as how you're necessarily perceived by others because you see yourself every day. But that doesn't detract from the point that it is happening. Your body is changing. And it's going to be the same with the money. If you're doing consistent actions, you're going to get the bag. You're going to get respect. You're going to get these things. But you just want to make sure everything else is in check in order to enjoy it the most and for you to be able to help as many people as possible. So please don't neglect your health. Get in the gym and let's get to work. We want to be serious people. In order to be taken seriously, you have to take yourself seriously. You have to uphold a certain standard for yourself. How do you expect anyone else to uphold these standards? How do you expect to be the head of a household? How do you expect to be a CEO of a company, working on different time zones, delegating tasks to people if you don't respect yourself? Is it possible? Yeah. But do those people really think they're the guy? No. And to me, that's not even worth it. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're out of shape and you don't respect yourself and people don't respect yourself, that's dead. It's finished. Because you have to live in your head the whole time. So what sense does that make for me to be in my head, for me to have all the money, but I don't even think I'm that guy? A lot of the time, guys want money so they can have the nice things and get the girls. But imagine fundamentally, you had the money to even get the girls, but you know that they're only with you for your money. Deep down, somewhere, you're gonna feel displaced. They're gonna feel there's a bypass of that connection. Something's not adding up. So we don't even want that. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. Like, you don't want to be all of one. You don't want to tick just one box. You don't want to be all of one box. You want to be consistently elevated. You want to be consistently above average in every category. The way you comport yourself, your looks, the way you walk, your carriage and gait. All of these things, man, you want to be that guy. But set the foundations with your body. If there's one foundation you can lay in order to take yourself seriously, it's going to be your body, how you view yourself. You cannot convince me that someone that sits around eating greasy foods and donuts all day and doesn't exercise, you cannot convince me that they love themselves. You can't. So yeah, I hope you understand the importance of this. I hope you heed the message. And if you've got any questions on any fitness or diet side of things, or you'd want to see some more videos on that, let me know in the comments. It's always helpful. I find the comments extremely encouraging because oftentimes this can be a lonely journey. I understand the importance of it inherently, but that feedback, hearing other people and starting to sort of foster that community is extremely beneficial. So let me know what you think in the comments. Drop it a like if you find it valuable. If not, X off. But if you made it this far, I'm sure you appreciate the message. So I appreciate you for sticking around and stay tuned for the next one.